Today on Market Table, I'm visiting Medina's historic public square. Join me as I browse the farmers market, meet the local farmers and vendors, and create a simple, family-friendly meal using fresh, organic produce. This morning, I'm shopping for the ingredients to make a deliciously crisp, summery BLT wrap. To market we go. My name is Kristin Gambaccini, and this is Market Table. Jake and Katie of Route 42 Harvests, and they brought their amazing produce today to the Medina Farmers Market, and we're going to talk to them a little bit about what they have and what they do.
Hi, thanks for stopping by. We are a year-round greenhouse located here in Medina. Actually, we're about 5 minutes away from the square, so we're easy to find. And so we produce all sorts of different leafy greens and herbs year-round in our greenhouse. So we brought just a small selection of the stuff we do today. The cool thing about our greenhouse, even though we can produce year-round, we do kind of go with the seasons. So right now you're seeing a lot more of the cool season herbs and lettuces, and then as the summer goes on, we kind of switch to more of those like summer greens, and then in the fall more like the endives and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that. So how long have you been doing this?
So technically I've been a horticulturist for about a decade now. Got my bachelor's and master's degree in horticulture, and been in the food production systems, not just here in Ohio, but all over the world actually. So
that's amazing. So do you sell like all summer long? Is this something you do at multiple places, or do you just stick close here to Medina?
So right now we're doing in person just here at the Medina's Farmer Market, but we're also doing an online farmers market, marketwagon.com. That was a collection of different farmers from the Northeast Ohio area.
Yes. And what makes your produce different? What makes what you do different from what similar farmers, horticulturists are doing?
Yeah, so what makes us different, we grow hydroponically, and in what we considered a controlled environment greenhouse. And so what we try and do is we keep the environment perfect for the plants, and also the structure is designed to eliminate like bugs, so we don't actually spray. So there has been no chemicals sprayed on any of this, so we don't use anything. We also, because of that, give the plants exactly what they need. So we conserve water, we use less energy than some of the other practices out there.
So is that what is considered organic?
I was going to say there are certain ways it to be organic, but technically I like to use the term we're more like clean produce, because in organic you can still use organic approved chemicals to spray on your produce. We don't spray anything on our stuff. So it's literally, you could pick the stuff up and eat it right away.
I love that. So it's just ready to go, ready to eat. I'm going to be making a delicious, hopefully my kids like it, BLT wrap. And you had suggested a specific leafy head of lettuce. And what is it that you think would work best for this dish?
So I'm thinking the best part would be one of our speckled red heads. That way it has a really large leaf area. It's good for wraps. We use it all the time in fun stuff.
See how big
the leaf gives you a lot of area to work with, and that way it kind of helps. If you're going for more like a crunch inside of your wrap, I'd probably add some like romaine into that. And then we have a whole collection of different herbs we have if you want to add some other spices to your dish that you're making, not just the texture and taste of lettuce.
Right. No, that's perfect. And do you have a website or anything where people can get on and see what you're selling each week? I know you said it'll change throughout this summer.
Yep. Yeah, you can go to route42harvests.com. We've got a whole pictures and what we're doing on there. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. That's probably the easiest ways to kind of figure out what we've got going on and what we're picking.
Social media rules the world, right?
Yep, that's
perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much for talking to us. Hi there, and welcome to my kitchen. The star of today's recipe is really the lettuce and the radish that we picked up earlier today from Route 42 Harvests. Look at this stuff, guys. This is big, leafy, red romaine lettuce. This is gonna be the base of our wrap. This is what we're gonna put all of our BLT mixings into to wrap up. And look at that. It's still on the root, so these really, truly, they're so fresh, they're so good. We have some red speckled lettuce here, and the reason I got this is because I thought I could add it to the inside of the BLT for a little bit more crunch, just a little bit more snap when we're eating it. And I also got some of this beautiful purple trident radish. And the reason I thought this would be great is because it gives it a little bit of a bite. But it's definitely a choose your own adventure. So if you're making this for your kids, you might not want to add this. I don't know, if they don't like the bitterness of a radish, but it really is a great addition to a BLT. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a square piece of parchment paper or wax paper, and I've already kind of folded it in a triangle shape here, but I'll do it again just so you can see. And we're gonna make this is gonna kind of hold our wrap together, because when you use lettuce as your outside of any type of sandwich or wrap, it can get really messy and it can fall apart very easily. So we have this, we have it in the shape of a triangle. I'm gonna fold this top part down so it gives it kind of a flat top here, and then we're just gonna make our lettuce wrap right here on top of this parchment paper. Super easy. I've already washed the lettuce, but I've left it on the root just to be able to show you guys. So I'm just gonna start taking off some of the really big pieces, and this is so, I can't even believe this lettuce. It's so good. And the reason, I don't know about you, I love BLTs in the summer. I don't really have to turn on the oven. I made my bacon in advance, and I actually made it using my air fryer. Super simple option, quick. You're not turning on your oven and heating up your kitchen. Now, if you don't have an air fryer and you need to make your bacon, you can still use the pan method. There's a couple tricks to really make it work well for you though, and that's to start off by getting your bacon out of the fridge for like 20 minutes before you're ready to start making and putting it on the skillet. Just like steak, it actually just cooks better when it's at room temperature. Also, you want to make sure your skillet is not preheated. Put your bacon on a cold skillet and then start cooking it straight from there. And finally, you want to make sure that you have your paper towel over your plate or your platter to really absorb a lot of those fats and the juices from the bacon. And other than that, like, you're good to go. It's pretty easy to make. But if you do have an air fryer, I suggest trying to use it in that, because the other thing I like about it is that I was able to pick off a lot of those fatty pieces once it was done, and it was so simple to do. So I'm just gonna start layering my bacon on top of my leafy lettuce romaine here, and I like a lot of bacon. There's something about a lot of bacon on a BLT. BLTs are kind of my go-to sandwich in this summer. Even if I'm at a restaurant and I don't know quite what to order, I always go for the BLT because I know it's gonna fill me up but not make me feel too full, which is a good thing when you're trying to put on a swimsuit, right? So as you can see, I've got the lettuce kind of like overlapping where we folded here. I've got my bacon. I'm gonna add some of the other main ingredients, which obviously is tomato. I've already had some cut up here, and these are little Roma tomatoes, but you can use beefsteak tomatoes, especially this summer if you have some tomatoes from the garden, or you could even use cherry tomatoes chopped up into little cubes. Really, honestly, whatever flavor tomato you like. I'm gonna add a little bit of mayo, because I do really like mayo on my BLT. And then I have some black pepper that I'm gonna sprinkle on here. And we talked about those radishes. I'm gonna put some of these radishes on here because I really do like the additional flavor it gives it. Plus, it just looks so pretty on top. I can't help but love just the way that they look. And then I'm gonna add some avocado. This is kind of a different addition to a BLT, but I really like the flavor it gives it. Plus, they're just so healthy for you. So I already have my avocado cut in half, and I already removed the middle seed, but my kids, This is something my kids would definitely eat. They'd go for the avocado. I think I could probably hide the radish pretty good in here so they wouldn't even notice it was there. The final step is going to be to add a little bit more of greens. Like I said, I love adding these smaller leaves just for an extra crispy crunch when you're eating it. The color is so pretty too. If you can see, it's got that purple color to it. And there's just something to be said for eating something that you know was grown in your own town, in your own city. I think that's so cool. So the final step is just going to be adding our top layer. And the reason we're going to do this is just going to help us keep it together. This is going to help us keep our sandwich together when we roll it up. You don't have to add this layer, and you can try to just roll it up almost like a burrito. But to me, just adding this top layer of lettuce is just makes life a little bit easier. So I'm going to come up from the side, and I want to just pull it in really tight, and then I'm going to tuck it under, almost like when you're swaddling a baby, the pull and tuck. And then I'll come in from this side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tuck it, and it almost looks like a BLT bouquet, doesn't it? Like a beautiful bouquet of bacon and lettuce and tomato. But really, it is so pretty in there, and there's so many fresh things. And what I love about this method too is it keeps your hands clean. And as you eat, you can either tear down the parchment or roll it down, or even just reach down and pull your lettuce up. But the point is, it's a simple way to make it. It's a simple way to eat it. Such a refreshing summer food. I love this. I hope you do too. Head to KristinGambacciniBlog.com for this recipe and others seen on Market Table.